Hello everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know how this video is going to go down because at the time of releasing this video, Shane Dawson's new series, The Mind of Jake Paul, should be out, and there is a good possibility that I'm in it for quite a large segment. And I really don't know how it's going to go down. I don't know if I'm going to be liked, if I'm going to be loved, if I'm going to be hated or disliked, or just regarded as the guy with the terrible haircut in the Shane Dawson video. I just have no idea whatsoever. So today I'm going to be talking about the series The Mind of Jake Paul, giving my predictions, just giving my thoughts on it in general, and then I'm going to talk about how Jake Paul actually rose to fame, and then my overall opinion on Jake Paul. Now, The Mind of Jake Paul is no doubt going to take over the internet for the next week, and can I just say, thank fuck for that, because if we had another week of talking about YouTubers boxing each other, I'm just going to lose my mind, because I'm being quite honest now, the last 6 months have just been, is Logan Paul going to win? Is KSI going to win? I don't particularly care that much anymore. At first, I did, but now I just want to move on. But with this series that Shane has created about the mind of Jake Paul, I'm pretty sure 90% of the audience that are actually going to be watching it aren't fans of Jake Paul whatsoever, and that's pretty much because over the last year, Jake Paul has garnered a lot of negative attention towards his YouTube channel and in general towards him. Because there is no doubt that this man has done some questionable things over the last year, from lying about FaZe Banks assaulting his assistant to releasing some questionable music videos. This guy doesn't exactly have the best of track records. So Shane Dawson doing a series with Jake Paul is no doubt going to be extremely controversial, and a lot of his fans have actually said they don't want this series. And now, I have covered this in a video before, but I would just like to reiterate the point of just give this series a chance, and just give Shane a chance in general. I think the guy has a pretty good track record for these things, as you can see from the Tanacon series, so just give it a watch and make an opinion after it's all done with. Because I don't personally believe that Jake Paul is going to somehow redeem himself or gain any followers at all from this series. Given all of the bad things Jake has done in the past, I think Shane's audience and the rest of the entire YouTube audience have at this point already constructed their main opinion on Jake Paul. But what I do think we are going to get from this series is something that we haven't seen before, because right now we've just seen the man in front of the camera, which is Jake Paul, and the question has always been hovering around of, is Jake Paul who he is on camera, off camera? Because at this point, everyone really knows Jake Paul for his energetic personality, his screaming, his shouting, for jumping on news vans, and also for being chased by killer clowns. We've never really seen much genuine emotion from this guy, and that's mainly because he has a child audience, and his child audience don't necessarily give a fuck about how this guy's feeling and what his emotions are. And now, I'm not taking any shots at the Jake Paul fan base, but when you're at the ages of 11 and 13, you don't really take into the context of somebody's emotional stability. And that's mainly because at the ages of 11 and 13, you really haven't developed enough to become very mature and understand that people behind the camera may be different when the cameras are turned off. There's only been a few times where I've really seen Jake Paul show some genuine emotion, and one of them times being after the Japan incident involving his brother, Logan Paul. Jake uploaded a video in January titled, "Let's Talk About My Brother, Logan Paul," and now I'm just going to roll a slight segment from that video.
I think what Logan did was very, very, very wrong, and he made a huge mistake, and not only is he paying for it, but he is learning from it, and I think that in no way, shape, or form is suicide a joke, or should be made fun of in any way, shape, or form, or any behavioral mental issue in general. Like, I don't think it's right what he did at all.
Now, word for word, what Jake Paul said in this video is genuinely quite good. He handled the situation pretty well, and I think he said everything that was needed to be said. But it does seem like he was reading from a script in this video, and it does seem like his emotions, just in general, weren't real. And that is why this Shane Dawson series, to me personally, is quite interesting, because I think it's going to show that if these videos are actually real or not, if these emotions he appears to be showing here aren't false and aren't real. Because, to be honest, I don't know Jake Paul, and 99.9% of the YouTube audience don't know Jake Paul. So we can't really say if this guy is emotional or not, or if his emotions are fake. And with the emotional side of Jake Paul coming into context with this series, I think we're going to begin to see more of the history of Jake Paul and why he actually does the things he does. Because to me and a lot of other people, it does seem like Jake Paul just loves to be the center of attention, regardless if it's because of a negative or a positive reason. And usually with a lot of people that are like this, there is actual history to show why they do these things. Something bad may have happened in their past, or their parents may have neglected them and not gave them much attention during their childhood. And for all we know, that genuinely could be the case in this situation, because with Jake Paul's dad, Greg Paul, he definitely is one of the more controversial figures on YouTube. I mean, just this week alone, Greg Paul's alleged sex tape has been leaked, and also he has a history of being accused of a lot of nasty things. So Jake may have actually had a bad relationship with his parents in the past. It's just a guess of mine, it's not conclusive, but to me, these things do correlate with his attitude and with his personality in his videos. And now don't worry, I'm not going to give Jake Paul a sob story or be relatively nice to him, because personally, I don't believe if you have a bad history, it justifies all of the bad things you have personally done. I think that sort of mentality isn't the right way to go about things. If Jake Paul really did have a negative past and it really has influenced him, I truly do feel bad for the guy. Honestly, I feel bad for anyone that's had a negative past. But I don't think it justifies lying about these sort of things.
Jake Paulers. We were talking and just found out some news from these three and Nick. Originally it was just like an offline conversation, like no cameras involved. But when I heard what happened, I was so distraught. I was so in shock. I was so disgusted that I needed to bring this situation to light.
When I was leaving, he sort of clotheslined me and put their arm out in front of me and tried to like pull me into the place that they were, into his table. He like put his arm out and like went like this, and I was looking up at him and our faces were really close, and he sort of like was right here.
I feel like it was more extreme than just...
Now I've spoken about this all before, and obviously it was a lie, just complete and utter bullshit. But I would really love to know what was going through Jake Paul's mind at this point, and I'd also love to know what was going through the rest of Team 10's mind. Because they must have known the whole story was just complete bullshit and just a massive fabrication. So why did they go along with it? Are they scared of Jake Paul? Are they worried about losing their jobs? Who knows? Hopefully, we're going to find out in the next week or so. And that's exactly the sort of thing I want to see come out of this series. An understanding of why Jake Paul does the sort of things he does, how he gets away with them, and just in general, his mind and philosophy behind some of the things he participates in. So to conclude my predictions on the series of The Mind of Jake Paul, I don't think this is going to redeem Jake Paul whatsoever. In fact, I think there's a good chance this actually could expose him for more things. I think we are going to hear interesting things from his former friends like Nick Crompton and former members of Team 10. It's most likely just going to be a massive fucking roller coaster. But with roller coasters, you do need a good old structure for the roller coaster to move across. So today, I want to talk about how these structures actually got built, i.e., how did Jake Paul become popular? And that is probably the best segue I'm ever going to have into another topic, so let's get into it. Jake Paul, the big old bastard that just won't seem to go away. How did we get to this point? Because it's a question that I've been asking quite a long time. For somebody that seems to be widespread disliked by everyone, he still has 15 million subscribers on YouTube. A lot of people do love the guy, but it does seem a lot of people also hate the guy. Well, to suss this all out, we are going to have a little bit of a history lesson. We're going to have to go take a look at the ancient relic, which is Vine. Now, Vine, before it got shut down, was a platform which allowed you to upload 6-second long looping video clips. And this has created so many stars we now know today. The term Vine invasion is commonly used in this community nowadays, and I think it is pretty fair. YouTubers like David Dobrik, Drew Gooden, the Dolan twins, they're all doing amazing for themselves nowadays on this platform. And these guys all came from Vine. And another person that came from Vine was also Jake Paul.
Target acquired.
Zooming.
The next time I see Kendra, I'm ripping her head off. Do it. She doesn't know who she's messing with. Hey, Lisa. Oh my God. Hey, Kendra.
Oh, is your refrigerator running?
Yeah, he's running right now.
What?
3, 2, 1. Ah!
Now, as you can see from that, it does just seem like Jake Paul's YouTube channel. Loud, energetic, a lot of things going on, but condensed into 6 seconds. Now, Jake did start Vine back in 2013, and it was an absolute success from the very get-go. He was making comedic videos, not many people knew too much about him, and everyone was happy. By the time Vine shut down in 2017, Jake had around 2 billion plays on the app, and around 5.3 million followers, so it's very obvious that Jake Paul was a well-known name in the Vine community. Now with this bloke gaining a lot of traction and attention to his Vine page, gaining a lot of followers on Instagram, it led to something which can be considered quite career-changing, and that isn't appearing on YouTube, but it's actually appearing on the Disney Channel.
Heyo, I'm Jake Paul from Bizarre Park, and you're watching Disney Channel. Oh, no looker, first ever. Oh, nailed it!
Now obviously the Disney thing didn't exactly go to plan, but it did benefit his career. Jake appeared in a series called Bizarre Park, which really wasn't that known at the time, but it did allow himself to incorporate into Hollywood. And Hollywood, no doubt at all, is the best place for the entertainment industry because it pretty much is where all of the media giants are. So with Jake getting his foot in the door of Hollywood, it allowed a lot of people to notice him, invest in him, and also for him to have a massive backing with whatever he does in the future of his career. And one of those things he did in the future of his career after Bizarre Park was starting a YouTube channel.
What's up, daily vlog? Starting them up again. Here we go.
Now Jake Paul's YouTube channel was a complete success from the very get-go. He gained in a second month around 200,000 subscribers, and for any YouTuber, including Shane Dawson or PewDiePie, that's pretty mental. So the question is why was it successful? Now there are two reasons for this. The first reason being his Vine. He was very popular on Vine, a lot of people loved the stuff he was doing, they're dedicated fans, so they went over to his YouTube channel and they subscribed to him. But the second reason being Disney. People going over from his Vine is something we can pretty much all agree on. It's very realistic to why that actually happened. But with Disney, it's a bit more complicated. Disney, the company well known for classics such as Chicken Little and Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, this company really did help Jake Paul. And there are a lot of reasons to why Disney actually helped Jake Paul, and mainly one of them being the content that was being produced on YouTube in 2016. In 2016, a lot of controversial creators rose to new heights, such as Leafy is Here and even iDubbbz. These YouTubers are definitely seen as controversial by anyone from the YouTube audience. And with that, advertisers started pulling out of the platform, people were earning less money, and then eventually the apocalypse happened. And the apocalypse is basically when a lot of brands and advertisements pulled out of YouTube because of controversial content on the website. And with this happening, I personally believe, I'm going to go full tinfoil conspiracy theorist here, that YouTube decided to start killing drama-related channels deliberately and then start promoting family-friendly content. The main reason being family-friendly content is what advertisers want. They don't want their product to be on something controversial, they want something to advertise on which isn't going to get them in trouble. And at the time of early 2017, Jake Paul pretty much was exactly that. YouTube saw him, they thought, he's from Disney, we're going to start promoting this guy. He got pushed in the recommended tab, the YouTube homepage, and also the trending tab. And then after Jake started rising on YouTube, he created Team 10, which was also a load of other family-friendly vloggers. So the YouTube algorithm pretty much had a field day and started promoting these guys for months on end. So at this point, everyone was happy. YouTube were happy because they've got more family-friendly creators coming in. The family-friendly creators, like Jake Paul at the time, were getting a lot of views because of the YouTube algorithm. But there was really something missing from this recipe to success. Controversy.
Good morning, Jake!
Your views are going down, bro.
Now this really contradicts everything that YouTube started promoting these creators for, because since the summer of 2015, Jake Paul has just been non-stop involved in YouTube drama, and I really don't think that's what YouTube originally planned for. Jake has a timeline of just in general being a complete and utter bellend. He's made diss tracks, he's had boxing matches, this guy has just been everywhere. And with all the controversy surrounding this guy, a lot of creators, including myself, began to make videos on him throughout 2017, and regardless of what he's doing in the videos bar a few things, he is obviously going to gain popularity. The guy can be roasted for everyday bro, but he's always going to gain more subscribers and gain more viewers from that. And that is exactly how we got here today. Jake Paul had a massive corporate backing, but he also had a massive following on Vine, but he also was a complete and utter bellend for a year straight. And altogether, that led somehow to 15 million subscribers, and that is where we are today. Now moving on from that, I'm going to now give my opinion on Jake Paul. and this is probably going to be the most controversial part of this entire video. Personally, I see Jake Paul as a businessman. He knows what's going to get views, and he's going to do absolutely anything to get them views and them subscribers. And because of that, I feel like it's very difficult to like this guy. I feel like you need to have moral standpoints on YouTube to just in general be likable, and it's clear Jake Paul doesn't have any morals because he's willing to do absolutely anything to gain popularity, such as lying about assault. I do admire Jake Paul's work rate. You can see that clearly from his YouTube channel. The guy has uploaded so many YouTube videos, but I just don't like the things he's done to get to his popularity. I would love to speak to the guy about it, but for some reason, I don't think that's going to happen. But honestly, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on the entire thing. Are you looking forward to Shane's series? Do you like Jake Paul? Why do you think Jake Paul got famous? Just let me know in the comment section. I know this video was more messy than usual. I tried to incorporate 3 topics into one so I didn't have to make 3 videos, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but you can also let me know your thoughts at Instagram at ynabber, where you can DM me or you can send me a question on the Instagram story, but you can also let me know your thoughts at Twitter at ynabber. And before we end the video, as always, I am going to thank my Patreons. Big thanks to Alice, Anna, Arista, Bugabadger, Charmskull, Cubebuster Rob, to Cubesen, Dinkadino, Elle, Evelyn, Hannah, Henry, Imoshoes, Anochi, Jessica, Joe, Catherine, Lisa, Majestic, Michaela, Mary, Maya, Max, Mel, Michael, Michelle, Nicole, Olivia, Aurelie, Regan, Rockstar, Sadie, Scrubby, Sidestina, Speedy Bird, Tonji, Tristan, Uncle Tid, Zirfa, Zombie Saza, Quinn, Clarissa, and Sophie. That was a mouthful, but we got there in the end. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy things, and I really hope you don't just leave after one video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.